welcome back. Today I'm gonna talk about language and communication. As I mentioned before, there are some terms I prefer over others. I'm going to start off with handicap. I don't like this term. It originated from a game called handicap. It was a game of chance. Handicap became a term used in horse racing. Participants put stones around a fast horse to slow it down. That's just cool. The term evolved in the 1970s to refer to people with different abilities. It focuses on their weaknesses and doesn't acknowledge personhood. The second phrase I hate is wheelchair bound. No one is wheelchair bound even if they can't walk. The acceptable phrase is people who use wheelchairs. Even if someone can't walk, using a wheelchair is a choice. Wheelchair bound makes it sound like someone is strapped to a wheelchair against their will. Hopefully that's not the case. Next up is the phrase special needs. I don't have special needs. My needs are the same as everyone else's. I need to eat, drink, socialize, and feel loved by the people around me. How is that special? Everyone needs those things. We all need help socializing and feeling love. That doesn't happen in a vacuum. People's first language used to be considered the appropriate language. For example, seeing a person with a different ability, not differently abled person. Now the opposite is becoming acceptable, especially within the differently abled community. I have mixed feelings about this. On one hand, I want to be seen as a person first, so person first language makes sense. People want to be described this way for years, but at the same time, I'm not ashamed of having a different ability. I change the way I use my words depending on the group I'm in. if I'm with people who are temporarily able-bodied, I use person-first language. If I'm around people with different abilities, I refer to my different ability first. It's important to ask people how they want to be referred to. As a side note, temporarily able-bodied is how I refer to people without different abilities. At some point, everyone will need some type of assistance as they age and lose the abilities they had. It covers all in using a cane, a hearing aid, or the inability to climb stairs the way they once had. Regarding communication, I hate it when people don't look at me when they talk to me. I especially find it irritating when strangers ask the people around me questions about me, like, can she talk? I have trained my friends and assistants to say, ask her. It's rude not to talk to a person who's right in front of you. Everyone likes to be spoken to, even if they can't respond. I also hate it when people ask what's wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. This is how I was born. It's a very judgmental question. It tells me the person is very closed-minded. I don't mind if people ask me why I use a wheelchair. People are curious, and I don't mind educating them. I can't stand people touching me without permission. It makes me feel like an object instead of a person. I try to remain calm, but sometimes I lose my temper. I don't appreciate people praying for me. I've been told God will make me whole. I'm whole now. I am not a religion expert, but I believe people of faith think God created us in His image. Therefore, this is how God intended me to be. Lastly, please don't call me inspirational. Some people are impressed that I leave the house as if having a different ability is that terrible. Having a different ability irritate is perfectly normal. I wish people understood that. We're just people trying to revolve us. The most challenging part is how to handle this calmly. I admit I have yelled at people, but most of the time I'm polite and try to educate them. It can be exhausting. I don't like getting angry because then the person might think all people with different abilities are angry. Standing up for myself without making the other person angry is the real balancing act. Sometimes I succeed and sometimes I fail. Those are all the things I could think of right now. There's probably more, but that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye.